I'm 150 feet underground at the Wheel Roots mine in Cornwall, and you can see the dark, cramped and wet conditions the miners had to put up with.
They'd work for about 8 to 10 hours a day, the men would have. Obviously climbing down wooden ladderways to where they were working. Some of the ladderways in Cornwall would have been over 1,000 feet deep. Boys from the age of 8 or 9 would have worked down here. They'd have worked for 6 or 8 hours a day, and again, climbing down ladderways to where they would have been working. Usually working in running water, very dangerous conditions, using explosives, which again were very dangerous to use, and mainly using hand tools for drilling and breaking the rock up.
But it isn't just in Cornwall that you can stumble upon secret underground worlds.
It was the first quarry I ever discovered, purely by chance with a friend of mine way back in the mid-1960s. And we were just playing in the woods at Brown's Folly, and we found a crevice in the rock, a small gap in the rock. We climbed in behind this rock, cleared a few boulders out of the way, and gradually as we cleared the boulders, we found the corridor we were in was getting bigger and bigger. And we found ourselves eventually in this huge network of underground workings, which we later found out was old abandoned Victorian quarry workings, which extended over something like 300 acres. You know, there were corridors disappearing in the distance in all directions, quarter of a mile long, half a mile long. It was unbelievable. But that, as we found out later, was only a small part of it. You know, we'd found Monkton Farley mine, which was about 300 or 400 acres, I suppose. But around the whole of North Wiltshire, you know, in the area that I know well, there are literally thousands of acres. All of the fields in North Wiltshire are undermined by this rabbit warren of worn out, worked out quarry workings, around about 100 feet underground.
And it's not just empty tunnels that can be found in Britain's mines. Many still have machinery and tools left intact, undisturbed for decades, as if time itself had stood still.
There's nothing more exhilarating than going into a mine and finding machinery still there. And before I got interested in the underground, I was interested in watermills and windmills. And to go into an underground mine and find underground water wheels, which powered all the equipment in the mine, is something it's rare.
One of the most spectacular ways of obtaining power was via underground water wheels. And one of the finest examples is in the Ystrad Einon copper mine in North Wales.
You go to the bottom of the shaft, you've got workshops there, you've got lathes, you've got tools, and you've got this massive water wheel still there where it was placed in the earlier 20th century, and it was an amazing sight to get into this old miner's workshop, 350 foot below ground. As you can imagine, you know, having to go that far down, not many people actually get to go there. That is probably one of the most interesting underground places I've been to in the United Kingdom.
Anyone who is interested in exploring a mine shouldn't go in by themselves. Before they even contemplate going into any abandoned workings, they should look into mine rescue organisations or caving organisations to learn about the mines properly.